Hey guys, Scott with Elevated Movement. Today we're going to be going over how to improve shoulder internal rotation from the sleeper stretch setup. So the biggest thing that I want to talk about is when I see people go into this particular setup, they have a really hard time with the rails effort, all right? So in a very generic sense, I'm going to go over the specifics of how to get into this position, but just to show you what I'm talking about, I'm going to go ahead and get down into it right now, all right? So the PALS effort is for you to drive this part of the wrist back, or basically driving the humerus into external rotation, all right? The rails effort will be to try to drive internal rotation of this glenohumeral joint, all right? What happens is when people go to do their rails effort, they do this, right? They go, and the shoulder shoots up to the sky, and you end up getting all this coupling motion from the scapula and the shoulder, all right? So the first thing that I do is, I lay onto the scapula itself, right? I make sure I try to pin it down, right? From there, I just sit here and I'm trying to play. I'm less than 90 degrees, all right? So I'm not quite here, I'm just slightly less. From here, I actually try to find the bottom of my internal rotation, all right, before I compensate. So if I do this and the shoulder lifts up, I've compensated, okay? If I do this and I start to pick up extension of the elbow, that's another compensation, okay? So what I want to do is just find, hey, where's my true motion? So I almost take this opposite hand and place it on top of this shoulder, right? And I go, okay, where can I rotate to before this shoulder pops up into my hand, all right? And once I find that place where I actually have true motion, I'm then going to simply do very, very light sets of isometrics, all right? So I go about 10% effort, or just enough to engage the tissue, 6 sets of 6 seconds, 6-second holds. All right, so I'm back down into my position. I've got my scapula pinned down, right? I've already found my end range, all right? So from here, all I'm gonna do is simply very lightly just contract into that range, all right? 6 times and holding it for 6 seconds, all right? What that'll do is that'll help just improve some small neural drive to the tissue to help you contract better, all right? Once you're able to contract better, when you go into your rails effort, it won't feel so foreign in the beginning. You're not going to kind of be trying to feel it out. You're not going to probably drive as much compensation. You'll just have a much better contractile ability to go ahead and try to improve that range, okay? So that's my trick for improving your PALS rail setup for the sleeper stretch. So the other thing that I want to talk about is when you're doing this by yourself and you're using your hand, depending on how much mobility you have, all right, you might want to use this setup, or you might want to use something like this, or even just using a kettlebell, all right? This won't be exact, obviously, because I haven't taken time to sit here and set it up, but you can use a kettlebell just like this, all right? And so what you can do is set this thing up so it's perfectly at your end range, and then you can simply grab onto it and just try to pull backwards that way, all right? And that's another great way to kind of help alleviate some of that awkwardness of trying to do it yourself, all right? I find that could be very challenging. I had a lot of shoulder internal rotation issues that I couldn't quite get into that position, and now I've expanded it much more. It's still not where it needs to be, but this has been a staple of kind of how I've been doing it, all right? It really allows you to get a really good contraction. All right, so anyways, that's how you improve your PALS and rail setup for the sleeper stretch. Thanks, guys.